Alright guys, another video from Mike the Outdoors Guy. I went riding today on my bike, found a couple of Bic lighters. One of them still works, plenty of fluid, and the other one not so much. So this is what I was actually looking for. So the first thing I'm going to do is take this guard off carefully without trying to break it. It's easier to do with a blade. Hold on, let me go get my knife. Okay, I'm going to try and do this without cutting myself here. What I'm doing is just prying up this guard carefully, as carefully as possible. And the reason I'm doing that is because I don't need the guard. What I need is what's underneath here, which is the flint. There we go. A little more, I think we got it. Okay, guard off. Always be careful with your knife. Now the reason I'm doing this is I'm trying a couple different ways of fire starting, other than, of course, my ferro rod, which is here on my knife, and my knife. I know you're all probably laughing, the zombie green cord. But you know what? When it's dark and you're out in the woods, this is a whole lot easier to find than black or OD grain or camouflage. Believe me, it's a whole lot easier to find in the dark. So now essentially what we're left with is just the lighter, which is nothing more than a flint and steel. I'm removing the striking guard at the top too. Don't need that. So this is all we need right here. This still got a little bit of gas in it, so I'm going to let that burn out. Because all I want is just the flint and steel. So I'm going to let that burn out. I'm going to let it burn out and I'll be right back when it's out. Alright, you guys can see that this is almost completely out now. Just wait for that last little bit of gas to burn out. Alright, I'm going to say that's about good. Okay? This thing's not going to light again. Going to let it cool off a little bit. What we're going to do is try this just as a flint and steel in a couple of different ways. I've got these alcohol prep pads that I picked up at a store. They were on clearance. They were about $1. So this is one of the things we're going to try. I see everybody doing cotton balls different ways with beeswax on it, with petroleum jelly, or just plain cotton balls. So my idea is to take these alcohol prep pads, which are 70%. They have the 70% alcohol in them. And I want to try them out to see just how well we can start fire with them. And then I want to try the cotton balls and with the wax and then with the petroleum on them. So let's get started. Let's up one of these bad boys up. And let's get some spark to it. Ooh, almost started there. Oh, there we go. We got fire. Alright, lost one of my cotton balls. Okay, so we know that'll work. Now, this was difficult enough with the lighter, the Bic, considering it was right there on it. So that was a little tough. So can you imagine with a flint and steel how much harder it would be? That's why it's always a good idea to keep a Bic lighter. Even if it's already dead, it still has practical uses. So let me get rid of this. Now, let's try a cotton ball. Just plain cotton, fluffed out. See if we can get fire this way. Alright. Oh yeah, that started right up. No problem. So we know that works. Alright, next way. Let's try that same cotton ball so I don't keep wasting cotton balls. Macerated in a little bit of this beeswax. Now this is Murray's beeswax. And this has got petroleum, it's got Australian beeswax, and it's basically for a hair product. Those who know a lot of people use this for hair, for their conditioning, and as a hair dressing. especially the African American folks or people who have hair that's hard to control. This stuff works really good. So I'm just kind of rubbing this stuff in really, really well. And we're going to see if it'll take a flame. Because now that we know that alcohol pad will light, if we can't light this, we can always light that first to light this. So let's get this rubbed in there. All right, and now I'm going to fluff it up just a little bit. And the parts that aren't too macerated should light up just as easy. And those that are, let me wipe my fingers off here. Those that are should burn a little bit longer. So to keep from burning my fingers and making sure I don't burn myself, I'm going to grab my needle nose pliers here. Time to start being a little smarter. Take my lighter. Let's see if we can get this lit. Okay, now this should have started already. The other one lit right away. That didn't have the beeswax on it. Okay, so that's not working very well with the beeswax. Not starting that easy. Okay, so that in turn I would light the alcohol pad and then light that. I know that once it starts burning will in fact burn for a while. Matter of fact, just to demonstrate, again, I found these two lighters, just riding my bike around town. They were just laying on the ground. This one lights, see? Now this will burn, and this will burn for a while, but it apparently needs flame to get it going. All right, there we go. Yep, lost a couple of my cotton balls here. Let me get this put out. All right, it's smoking like crazy because of that beeswax. All right, that's out. See if I don't set my smoke alarm off. That's completely out. So, again, this good for lighting straight cotton balls. Good for starting that alcohol prep pad. Not so good for starting one with beeswax. Now, this I know would start with my ferro rod. But starting one of these with a ferro rod is not so easy. It's hard enough as it is with the big lighter, which is a little bit more controlled spark. Let's see how it does with Vaseline, with a little petroleum jelly. Okay, we're going to get some on this, on that side. Let's just get that rubbed in there. Let's see how it does with this. If it does. It may wind up just like the one with the beeswax. Alright, let's see what happens here. Get that fluffed out. Alright, get my fingers cleaned up. Alright, now let's see how this works. I notice it tends to stick to the wheel a lot more. Alright, well, it looks like this isn't going to start any easier than the one with the wax on it. Yep. Take that back. Look at that. Lit right up. Alright, let's get that put out. Alright, so, I guess it did work. It worked alright. This one with the beeswax didn't work very well at all, but I'll give it a second shot. Just so we can't say I didn't give it a fair share. Or I should say a fair try. Yep, look, it went up after all. I guess you just got to hit it from the right angle. So, hey, we learned something. That you can use a Bic lighter after the fluid's all gone to start a fire. A couple different ways. Okay, now, the one thing I want to see is that we know the cotton balls will burn. They'll burn for a while. Now, these are cut in half jumbo size, so they'll last for quite some time. What I want to see is how long this alcohol prep pad's going to burn once you light it. So I'm going to take it completely out of the package, and I'm going to get it started. There we go. Let's time it. You can see the alcohol's burning off, and that pad itself is actually starting to burn. I got 10 seconds, 12, 13, 14, 15 seconds. Sorry about the interruption. Alright, so it's been about 15 seconds and it just about, actually I take that back, about 20 seconds and it just went out. Okay? So, some people might think 20 seconds is not a whole lot of time. Well, you know what? It's enough time to get a fire started. Okay? You don't have anything else. You're having trouble getting it started. Oh, you got a lighter that doesn't work? Guess what? You can still make fire. Now, these alcohol prep pads, you can pick these up just about at any pharmacy, any store that's got pharmaceutical stuff in it. Healthcare. Some of the dollar stores or 99-cent stores may have it, so it's worth looking into. Take these, stick them in your first aid kit. Go to the 99-cent store, get the Johnson & Johnson or whatever it is first aid kit that's got a little bit of it's got some hand wipes, some Band-Aids, and a little antibiotic ointment. Throw a handful of these in there. Again, not real hard to make fire, not the easiest thing in the world, but hey, there you go. That quick. Okay? And that's burning long and hot enough that I could get something else started, something else lit without a problem. Even now, look at all that time's gone by and look at, boom, got that started. Boom, got that started. And I know with those, I could turn around and get a good fire going. Okay? So even if you use it just to start the fire and it's still burning, you definitely get something else going with it. So it's not totally impossible. It's not totally impossible to get fire started just because your lighter's dead. Okay? So don't take the easy way out and give up and say, oh, I couldn't do it. The only way to find out this stuff, guys, is by trying it. I've never tried any of this stuff with a burnt out lighter like that before. And again, just trying it out, seeing what'll work, seeing what won't work. Now I know, and you know. One other thing I kind of found interesting was this, what they call a metal match. Okay, this is not a ferro rod. What this is, this has lighter fluid in it. And you screw this off. And inside of here, there's this wand with like a wick, almost like cotton fibers. And it's got a striker here. And what you do is you strike it, and it lights up and it burns that lighter fluid just like a Zippo lighter. And that's exactly what's in there, is Zippo lighter fluid. Now I'll tell you what, this thing cost me I think $1 and change. Got it on the internet. But I'll tell you what, for $1 and change, I'm happy with it. You saw how easy it lit up. A lot easier than any of this. Definitely burns long and big enough of a flame that I could get anything lit without a problem. So guys, that's it for this session of Mike the Outdoors Guy. Please post comments, questions, suggestions. Again, this is just for the economy, beginner, people getting their kits together, survival training, stuff like that. All this stuff is done in a controlled environment, so don't go out, kids. Please do not try this at home with adults without adult supervision. Have an adult sit there with you, run you through it, and teach you. If you don't know how, contact me, and we'll see if we can work something out if you're in the Las Vegas area. Thanks again.